The Futon Show.
Somebody wrote in the other day, a Sheila E, not that Sheila E. She said, I've been following your campaign and find it very entertaining. But all I've heard you talk about really is I'm sitting on a futon, I pledge to grow hair, I vow to put on pants. It would be helpful, Mr. Dickle, if you could let us know where you actually stand on the issues. Sheila, you bring up a good point. If I'm going to ask people to vote for me, I guess that's something they might want to know. But voters today are fickle, you know. They need a gimmick. That's why I'm sitting here in this bathrobe playing the broke cartoonist. Not that I'm not broke, and I really am a cartoonist, but I also have a degree in economics. And I have substantive solutions to real issues, which you can read about on my website. But I try not to sit here on this futon rattling on about health care and education and taxes. If I do that, you're going to flip over to storage wars. But really, don't we all pretty much want the same things? We might squabble over the details, but I bet you a crisp $50 bill that almost all the crayons in this box would like to see a system of health care that is actually accessible. I mean, to anybody other than a Rothschild. I know the insurance companies would disagree with that, as do their bought and paid for congressmen. But aren't the rest of us pretty fed up with having the 37th best healthcare system in the world? We can do better than that. We have the resources, we have the will of the people. All we need to do is get greed out of the equation. Same with education. Other countries realize it's in their best interest to empower an upcoming educated generation. Meanwhile, we're using our college students like cash cows. Now, I'm not saying free college for all. It doesn't have to be free and it doesn't have to be for all. But I know we can come up with a system that makes higher education economically viable for any aspirant student who has the ambition and is willing to put in the work. And I have an innovative tax plan that closes up all those corporate loopholes in one fell swoop. It's so simple a fourth grader could do it. In fact, I used it to figure the taxes for Netflix, and it didn't come out zero. So if you'll just dig a little deeper than I pledge when elected to put on pants, you'll find an imaginative plan for picking up the broken pieces of this nation and putting it back together again. So, Sheila, I would respectfully ask you come voting day to consider a broke cartoonist or some other progressive candidate, Bernie, Liz, Joe, whoever. The critical thing is not that I win, but that we together pull the struts out from under this regime run amok and start putting America back together again. Oh, and I do pledge when elected to put on pants.